fired up for Utah State fans about this year's Aggies team. That's Zach and Derek. They came all the way from Utah, all the way to Montego Bay for tonight's game, and they brought with them an inflatable bull raft they've got there. Our starting lineups are presented by Playa Hotels. There's the starting five for the Aggies, led by Sam Merrill. LSU with that great backcourt with Javonte Smart, Skylar Mays. This has the feeling and the vibe of a postseason game, doesn't it, Steve?
Well, it really does. I mean, you know, LSU has one loss. They played on the road at a tough VCU team. This is a team that had a lot of ups and downs last year, but they were very good. Lost some players, but they're back with Coach Wade.
Williams and Karvosky jump, and here we go. LSU will start with the ball with Javonte Smart. This is a Utah State team that is ranked, experienced, and expected to make a deep, deep run this year, both in their conference tournament and in the NCAA tournament. Abel Porter, he's a junior from Farmington, Utah. LSU opens straight man-to-man. You can see the size of this Utah State team, and you were really impressed with Merrill just in warm-ups, weren't you? That ball deflected out of bounds.
He's got a beautiful shot. Looks like a choir boy, but he will light you up. If you look at Coach Smith, Craig Smith, he's got his team playing well, and Merrill is a guy that the ball runs through. He can shoot it, he can pass it. He's deadly from behind the arc.
Remember now, this is a team, they've scored at least 80 points in every game they've played so far this year, is Utah State. They can really play. This is Justin Bean behind the board, and they might have stepped on the baseline. It is a turnover. Here's Will Wade, head coach of the LSU Tigers. He'll turn 37 years old next week. Fine record so far as the head coach in Baton Rouge.
Well, this is going to be an up and down game. Both teams very good offensively. Utah State's tall, one of the tallest teams that I think LSU will see this year. A lot of big guys.
Smart gets it going. That's a three ball for the sophomore guard out of Baton Rouge. And LSU takes the early lead.
When he plays well, this team wins. It's already got two 20-point games this year. Got to make sure you get over and get a hand. Porter's got to get over there a little bit quicker. Just Smart will just light it up.
Foul was on Darius Days. That's the first foul in the game, and it's on the LSU sophomore from Raleigh, Florida. Justin Bean can't connect. That's a deep one for Mays. Quick start for the Fighting Tigers. 6-0 LSU.
Right out of the gate, the two guys that you worry about knocking it down from behind the perimeter.
And Utah State gets on the board on the driving layup by Justin Bean, sophomore from Oklahoma, who you can see is playing with that mask to guard his nose.
Well, Utah State is a team that plays very well together. They move the ball and they know how to help each other out. But that time, beautiful drive and dunk on the baseline.
Yeah, Emmett Williams knows how to finish. Quick start for the Tigers. Here's Merrill. He was their conference player of the year last year. Feeds to Porter. Karvosky had his shot blocked by Days. That's a clean block and a strong physical play by the 240-pound sophomore. And one at the other end. How about Darius Days at both ends of the floor?
This is a team right now that's coming out of the gate firing. They've landed the first couple punches. Right now, Big Blue's got to get back in the game. You see this underneath the basket, using the basket like a pick and slamming it home. A little smart move. Taking it to the basket hard is Emmett Williams. This is an experienced team in Utah State that, you know, they're not going to go away. This is going to be a hard-fought game. They got to run their offense. They won't just take a three just to get back in the game. They'll move it, try to get the ball inside. Karvosky the ball when he's in there.
Well, I talked last night with Craig Smith. I said, you know, I was listening to an interview with Ryan Day, the football coach at Ohio State. They've won all their games by like 41 points, right? Who has punched Ohio State in the mouth on the football field yet? Well, we're at the end of November and nobody. And it's the same thing with Utah State. They're winning each of their games by 40 points, other than the Montana State game. Well, LSU has, as you mentioned, come out and thrown the first punch tonight. We'll see how Utah State responds.
And I think what LSU's looking at is that, hey, we were in the top 20. We lost a game on the road in the toughest environment around. You just see a great pass by Merrill. And that's a beautiful feed underneath for Beam. That's a really good play by Merrill. But I think what you want to do is your LSU is say, listen, hey, you forgot about us. You took us out of the top 25. We should be back in there, and we're going to show you upsetting the number 15th, 17th team in the country.
Yeah, and that's what Craig said. He said, I want us to be pushed. I want someone to challenge us. We need to see how we'll respond. This is going to be a quad one win for whoever wins it. Days continues his great start tonight. And LSU by 8. Anderson at the other end cannot connect.
It was a quick shot. I think you got to move it around a little bit more. You know, try to slow down LSU because they're going to get it up and down. And they got the horses on the offensive end to keep on running and scoring.
Wide open look in the corner. And that's a 3-ball.
You can't do that. You cannot leave him open. Brito's the guy that'll knock down the 3-point jump shot, shooting it at 37%. Brito had 17 points in the last game against UTSA.
Here's Watford, really excited to see him play his first national televised international style game against a top team, a ranked team for this highly touted freshman. And he's guarding Brito. Brito beat him backdoor and connects. 5 straight points for Diego Brito from Portugal.
Utah State is very fundamentally sound. They make the extra pass. They run a lot more set offense than most teams we've seen in this tournament. But they pass the ball so well.
Smart connects. That's a 2-pointer for Javonte Smart. Well, I said up the top it had the vibe and the feel of an NCAA game. It also has the vibe and feel of an 85-80 game.
This is going to be a high-scoring game, I'll tell you that.
Hello, Brito. 7 straight points for the young man from Portugal. Inside and outside, Brito getting it done.
That was an unbelievable dunk in traffic by Brito.
Smart answers at the other end for LSU.
I'll tell you, Smart is energetic. He gets his team going, and when he gets hot, he heats up very fast, and when he gets hot, it's tough to stop him from the 3-point line. I think Porter got away with a walk on that last one.
Merrill misfires.
Good board by Davis. Great look cross court.
Days has had a good first half. It continues. Boy, like what you see so far out of LSU. Wow.
Our Smart and Days in the backcourt, they're just lighting it up.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Bean connects.
And the difference is Utah State's getting 2s, LSU's getting 3s.
Can you sense the kids are a little bit tired right now? We've gone about 4 straight minutes without a stop. I think they're having fun, though. Everyone's in the zone. Days down low, yes, and the foul. What a start tonight in Montego Bay. LSU and Utah State, they said they'd put on a show for us. Boy, have they done that in the first 6.5 minutes tonight in the Caribbean.
Now doing it from the outside and then doing it from the inside. The big fella, Days, came to play in Jamaica.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. By Tommy Bahama. Shop for your team gear at TommyBahama.com. And by America East, energizing bright minds, celebrating champions, inspiring leaders.
You're looking at the Rose Hall Great House later tonight. We'll hear from Steve, who had a chance to tell us the story about Annie Palmer at that incredible historic site here in Jamaica. Meanwhile, what a start we have tonight, huh?
Well, both teams are on fire. Look at the all-time series history with the meeting. Utah State up 2-1. But LSU has the last laugh. They won the last meeting. Right now, Days and Smart are just killing it. The team is 4-7 from three-point land. Both teams shooting well, but Utah State's shooting inside the arc. And LSU's behind the arc, and they're doing a lot better dropping dimes.
That was Alfonso Anderson, who couldn't finish with the left hand, and LSU, which has been sizzling from the floor. 9 of its first 13 tonight.
I think that's Smart, getting the ball inside. You just don't want to rely on that three, even though you're hot. You know, they want another one that goes down.
Everett Williams connects again.
But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you continue. The old adage is you live and die by the three. Right now they're living by it. They want to be smart and continue to get the ball inside too.
LSU fans are going, is this the same team that played such hot potato with the basketball up in Richmond against VCU? Here we are almost 8 minutes into the game. LSU doesn't have a single turnover, and they've hit 10 of 14 from the field. Another three, that one for Mays. We're watching the best 12 minutes of LSU basketball, well, since last year. They are on fire.
I think Will Wade might want to have a lot of games here in Jamaica. This team really has got energy, and they're shooting the ball so well.
That's in and out, and another defensive rebound for Days. But you know what, that VCU game, that probably helps LSU. Even though it lost, that's their lone defeat. They turned the ball over a ton. The net positive of playing the game helps.
I mean, this is a team that does have a lot of turnovers this year. I mean, compared to the other teams that we've looked at, just the stats. I mean, they've had problems turning the ball. They turn it over, have turned it over 30 more times than their opponents.
Mays going to the goal. And that'll be a shot clock violation. That'll take us to a media timeout. Well, LSU took the long flight over from Baton Rouge, and they have been long-range bombers tonight in the first 7.5 minutes here in Montego Bay. Tigers 28, Aggies 13. Well, earlier tonight, game ball presentation here at midcourt with the Honorable Olivia Grange, the Minister of Culture here in the country of Jamaica. She got a huge ovation from the fans here in Montego Bay. What a start tonight for LSU. Boy, they've been sizzling. 11 of 16 from the field to start the game.
You sit there and wonder how long can they keep doing this. They're really 9 3-pointers so far, but I like when they continue getting the ball in the post. They've been able to dribble and pass the ball into the post pretty easily against this bigger Utah State team. I think right now, down by 15 points, I think the Big Blue have to figure out how they're going to get back in the game offensively, but also how you're going to stop the barrage of threes on the other end.
This has been very uncharacteristic for Utah State. You know, they've held their last 4 opponents to under 40%. As good as Utah State is on the offensive side, averaging over 80 a game, on the defensive side, they've been dynamite this year. LSU's really bugging them, though. Here's Hyatt at the other end. And that's an offensive foul. Merrill took the charge.
That was good hustle by Merrill, getting back on defense and taking the offensive foul. Right now, LSU, that's really can help Utah State, because LSU has come out with so much energy. It's palpable. You can feel it over here, how they're running and jumping and shooting and helping each other out. You have to find some way to take the steam out of their sails. Right now, I don't really see the Achilles heel for the Tigers.
Manning gets called for a holding foul. That's the first foul on Manning. And Utah State will inbound. Mention how Merrill has been such a key player for them. Their player of the year in the Mountain West Conference a year ago. He also helped design these uniforms. These are new uniforms for the Aggies that pay homage to their teams from the 70s and the 80s. Free throws coming up now for Utah State's Alfonso Anderson. They're a classic look for the Aggies threads tonight. Geico will make a donation to the Montego Bay Boys and Girls Club for each free throw made during this weekend's games. Visit geico.com to learn how you can save 15% on car insurance.
That was a beautiful pass by Merrill inside. That's what he does the best. You know, a lot of guys that are scorers, they try to get their team going by scoring and shooting the jump shot. He can do that, but I think his passing in the post is going to be very important in this game.
Porter will come back into the ball game now. They're going to go a little bit smaller now, will the Aggies. And it looks like they may extend their defense here. Yeah, they will.
Well, this is a team, if you look, the LSU, it's a shorter team, but every one of these guys can play 2 or 3 positions. So you may go shorter, but you don't lose much. And actually, it's hard to defend them if you're bigger, if you have a bigger lineup, because then you can't, you're packing it in, you can't extend on the 3.
Manning off the window, and 2 more for LSU. Boy, the Tigers are getting really good looks and scoring at ease thus far tonight.
And they're getting close to the basket. That was a point-blank range shot off the glass.
Merrill hits his first long one of the night, his first points for Sam Merrill.
Well, it's a good shot for Merrill, but they have to figure out something defensively, because LSU is just cat quick, and they're getting straight to the basket. Like
desperation heat by Smart, but Williams keeps it alive.
That ball movement is perfect around the perimeter. But you just don't want to live and die by that jump shot. You know, just because you move it around, you have an open shot. Try to get the ball inside. You can get, there's open pass to the basket.
Anderson hits the 3. So that is an example of how quick Utah State can score, right? That's a quick 6-0 run in less than a minute.
And you have to make sure that you do not let them get that momentum back. You've essentially taken them out of the game with your offense.
Mays a quick 3 that grazes the rim.
I just don't like that. I think you continue going inside because you have the advantage. They think you're going to shoot the 3, dribble drive. There's Merrill getting a step-in 3. He's just got a pretty jump shot. Anderson knocking it down from the corner. That's the easiest place to shoot from because it's a little bit shorter as far as distance.
Utah State has scored the last 8 and has cut the lead to 9. And that'll be a foul, though Coach Smith didn't like it.
Utah State fouls on number 5, Sam Merrill. That's his
second foul on Merrill. Will he stay in the game or not? Let's take a look.
See the drive. Yeah, Merrill's still moving. That's a good call.
We haven't had a chance to talk a lot about this guy who LSU fans have known all about. One of the best players ever to come out of the state of Alabama in high school. A 5-star recruit from Birmingham who led Mountain Brook to 3 straight Class A 7A state championships there. Over 1,900 rebounds in high school for Trendon Watford. Last couple of years, the all-time record in the state of Alabama.
And Will Wade has done a great job over the years with Shaka Smart, then coming over here, turning LSU back into the winner. Team that has always been a perennial solid team in the SEC, but they're back to their winning ways and getting to the tournament year in and year out. As you'll see, Day's taking that offensive foul.
It's on the junior Alfonso Anderson. Boy, Darius Days has done a little bit of everything tonight, hasn't he? You know, he had that great rebounding game. He's had several this year, but he's been really good on the defensive end, and he's scoring for him tonight, now taking a charge.
He's only played 9 minutes. He's got 9 points and 4 rebounds. I think that's a pretty good first half. Going after the freshman. As soon as you see the double team coming, you have to get rid of it. That time, not able. Watford wasn't able to get rid of it quick enough. Lost a handle on the ball. Turnover for LSU. important possessions as we wind down the first half. You have to get the ball into the paint and make good passes. Anderson threw it away. Oh, LSU playing solid defense. Days another deflected ball.
And they're not playing VCU or even Nichols. You know, LSU turned it over 20 times, more than 20 against Nichols. The Tigers have just 2 turnovers in the first 11 and a half minutes here tonight.
Yeah, let's
make it 3.
Yeah.
Abel Porter.
Back-to-back turnovers.
That was blocked by, I guess, Bishop getting in there from the backside.
I tell you, it's really hard when you're driving to the basket to get anything going straight to that hoop. They've got very athletic guys. You see that block there by Manning Jr. And then stepping on the inbounds line is Porter. I actually think this full court pressure has helped Utah State. It slows down LSU, so they can't really get in their half-court offense. They have been high flyers and energetic this whole first half. And since they've been having the press put on by the Big Blue, they've slowed down a little bit.
Days banks it in. Boy, he is having one heck of a first half, isn't he?
Now Pete Gillen got the banks open at 7:30 on a Friday. Yeah, he's been playing great, Bill, and they need that. I mean, he's had a heck of a first half, 12 points, 5 rebounds, just doing it all for the Tigers.
Justin Bean from the right side doesn't get that to go. And another strong defensive carom for LSU. That's Watford again. They ripped that one down. Both of these teams were ranked. LSU fell out of the poll after losing that tight game to VCU. Utah State's 15th, the highest they've been ranked since the 70s.
LSU back down to reality.
That ball got kicked. Can Mays save it? What great effort.
LSU's back to reality, only shooting 50% from behind the arc.
Mays didn't get the ball, but he showed incredible effort there. Nighttime view of Montego Bay. We'll be back in a moment. Back at the Jamaica Classic, LSU with a 33-21 lead over Utah State here in this first half. Inside the Montego Bay Convention Center, it's been a hot shooting half so far for the Tigers. You know, LSU coach Will Wade is back coaching LSU this year after being suspended for a month last spring following allegations of recruiting misconduct. Back in March, Wade was suspended indefinitely for refusing to meet with LSU officials about a report that he was caught on a 2017 FBI wiretap discussing a payment offer for a recruit. Wade was reinstated in April and finally discussing the allegations with LSU and NCAA officials. The NCAA's investigations into programs linked to the federal investigation into corruption in college basketball is ongoing, but to date, no notice of allegations of violations have been issued against LSU.
That's going to give Days was a 2 and not a 3. Trying to get some clarification from the referees here.
They're looking at the monitor across the way. Was Day's foot on the line? Will's going to glance at the score sheet that at the moment shows his team leading by 12. Ray Stion, Steve Anderson, and Mark Schnurr are the officials. It was signed by the ACC. It's an ACC crew for this entire tournament. The officials can review these things on the video. Who was fouled or who committed a foul. And then was it a 2 or a 3? That's what they're looking at right now.
They're going to call, I think they called it a 2. The officials have not come over and said anything, which is unusual. They usually come on over and try to help us out.
Well, they didn't change the scores, so.
Yeah, I thought he put his hand up as 2, but maybe they called it 2 initially.
That's Alfonso Anderson. He's a junior out of Tacoma, Washington in the scorebook, and Utah State back to within 10. Remember, LSU at one point led this game by 15.
Yeah, but you know, Utah State came down, cut it under 10, and then LSU moving the ball around. Really good half-court offense. Was able to push the lead back up to 10 again. But you're not going to do it. I think you got to put that three-point jumper away. Don't rely on it. Use the big guys inside.
Merrill misses on the step back. Not a great first half scoring wise for Merrill. He only has 3 points, but he does have 5 assists, and that's the perfect example. If you're the player of the year in your conference, you have to do more than just score.
Now, he's drawing a lot of attention. He's only taken 3 shots. I mean, this is a kid who's really a team player, and that's some good on-the-ball defense by Merrill too.
Yeah, just because he hasn't put up 12 or 15 points already, don't think he's not having a really good game, because he is. He bats that to Brito. What a nice assist that would have been. But Brito missed the shot. That's just a heady play.
Yeah,
kind of a volleyball tap.
He's a guy you want on your team. You'd like to play with him because he's going to get you open. He's going to find you when you're cutting to the basket, but he's going to make the unselfish play.
Here is Smart. Draws a crowd, and that leaves Watford wide open.
That was just a great heads-up basketball play. Dribble drive, kickback for a step-in 3 for Watford. That's how you play the game. You know, you don't need to create too much to get a shot like that. Getting in the lane, drawing the defense.
Steve, they're doing a great job defensively here. Nothing is coming easy for the Aggies. Merrill, though, does hit the 3, but they got to work for everything tonight.
Yeah, and right there, Skylar Mays made, you know, a bad play because he went after and tried to jump it instead of just going out and walling up. They're trying to take Merrill out of this game offensively. They've done a pretty good job as far as his scoring, but as we've talked about, he does so many things that affect this game.
Well, they've got so many guys who can score. They're a tough matchup at a lot of different positions.
So far in his first half, LSU, they're a tough team to match up with because they are playing very good. Shot clock violation. That's good defense by Utah State.
That's just the 4th turnover of the evening by LSU.
You'll see the dribble drive and the kick back. That's just really heady play by Smart. Watford is able to knock down the 3. You know, if you're Utah State, you're down by 10, 4 minutes. You want to get it down to 6, maybe 4. You're not going to get it down that way. It's just a bad play, bad pass. These guys are, Bean has got to be smarter with the basketball. These are LSU guys jumping the passing lanes. They're very athletic. Can't be lackadaisical with the ball.
Justin, number 34, you know, Stevie changed his number this year to 34. That matches the number that his dad wore when his father played at Idaho State, led the Bengals to the NCAA tournament back in 1987. He's honoring his daddy with number 34.
You got to love that. I think it's basketball is a sport. You see it every day. I saw Shante Rogers' son, Darnell, playing today. It's fun to see the next generation picking up this game.
Mays drills another.
9 points for Skylar Mays, man. They continue to shoot the 3 ball. 8 for 16 from behind the arc.
Bean left that one too strong, and the long rebound, he gets it back. And Miller gets a good look, and he can't connect. These are shots that Utah State has made for much of this early part of the season, but they're just not dropping tonight.
I think what LSU is doing is they're speeding up. LSU's speeding up Utah State. In the half court defensively, they're jumping over, they're trying to get over screens. They're making Utah State shoot the ball quicker than they want to, even though they look like open shots. LSU's able to close out very quickly.
Will's going to take a timeout. Timeout LSU.
Well, the Tigers doing a really nice job of moving the ball around and getting open shots. You see them shooting the 3 ball. Smart giving them a 13-point lead.
LSU leading 39-26 late in the first half here in Montego Bay. Now tomorrow it's a big day and night of college football at 3:30. Number 25 SMU heads to Annapolis for a big one against Navy, followed by the Canes against FIU. This will be fun from Marlins Park. The number 20 Boise State tries to keep its group of 5 hopes alive, taking on Utah State's Aggies at 10:30 Eastern. I know everybody out in Utah is ready for that one. Catch it on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
But Darius Days has done it so many different ways. He's been able to do it under the basket where he shoots almost 60% on the inside of the arc. He's shooting over 33% from behind the arc. And just for a little bit of icing on the cake, takes an offensive foul. This is a guy that second leading scorer on this team has really come to play. He's only played 12 minutes, got 11 points, 6 rebounds. It's a heck of a first half.
They break that pressure easily. Watford, a great ball fake, and he finishes. That was pretty.
Beautiful pass cross court. Watford able to realize there's a man in front of him. Ball fakes it, gets a layup, pushes the lead now to 15.
This match is LSU's biggest lead of the first half. And Watford now has a rebound as well.
I think LSU's doing a good job on the defensive boards, making sure there's no second chance baskets. I slow it down a little bit. Probably going to try to see if they can get the ball into Emmett Williams in the lane. Get him on the low block.
Look how great the Tigers were getting back defensively, too. They're not giving Utah State any chance to get any fast break points. And free throws coming up now for the Aggies.
You know, right now, Bill, it looks like Utah State is just laborious on the offensive end, really struggling. Whereas LSU is able to move the ball a lot quicker, a little bit more fluid in the half court. And that's where the difference is. Utah State's doing a very good, or LSU's doing a very good job limiting Utah State's open shots.
Well, coming up on 18th at the half, we'll send it to our New York studio where Brent Stover, John Rothstein, and Ryan Hollins will have the latest from around college hoops. Highlights and a whole lot more. That's coming up on AT&T at the half.
Merrill just missed that free throw. He's shooting 90%, 27 for 30 on the year. It just tells you a little bit how the offense has been going for Utah State this evening.
Justin Bean's going to give Merrill a break. He doesn't sit often. This is a guy that's going to be one of the great players ever in not only Utah State history, but Mountain West Conference history. Just an unbelievable player. Easily they break the pressure. Manning gets a good look. Followed his own miss, had it blocked by Bean.
I'd really like to get it under 10. We talked about getting it to 6. But right now, Utah State has struggling for the last 0 for 4 in the last 4 possessions.
3 more for Darius Days. That young man is having himself a night here in Montego Bay.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute to play in the half.
Couldn't get it to go. And there's a perfect example of how hard it has been for Utah State to score.
In traffic, there's just 3 guys at the rim.
Merrill's going to come in quick. He didn't sit but a minute, did he?
I think you want to get him on the offensive end. You'll see good trapping defense. Probably a travel on that play.
But just great defense by Days. Held his spot. You know, he scored, he's rebounded, he's taken a charge. He's doing really good things on the defensive end for Will, isn't he?
He's playing like an All-American right now. He finally gets a breather over on that bench.
.20 to shoot, plenty of time. Merrill to Porter. And he's fouled as he goes to the goal. But that's a good job by Williams. You're not going to give him the uncontested shot.
Well, and I think it's important. I like what Porter did, took it to the basket. You just don't want to settle for the three because it's harder. You want to make sure you continue being aggressive to the basket. See, Porter Jr. gets around smart. And Williams comes over and gets a foul. I think Williams got the better of that one.
He did. So Porter will go to the line for two. You know, he's been all over the place. He married his fiancée, Presley, in Hawaii in May. Now he's over here from Hawaii to Jamaica. That is a flight. That's a lot of tropical miles there now.
It's uncharacteristic of this Utah State team, missing 2 free throws. Merrill missing, and Porter missing 1. Bean coming back in the game.
He'll come in for Merrill. So you're right. That was just an offensive defensive substitution.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to lose much Merrill on defense. Bean coming in. He's only got 2 fouls, but I think you want to give him a little bit of break because they're running everybody at him.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense for him to pick up his 3rd foul in the last minute of this first half.
Yeah, give him a little break because I think it's important that he's fresh for the second half.
Yeah. And if Utah State's going to come back, they're going to need Sam Merrill. But he clearly was the focus of the LSU defense. Last shot time now, if they so choose, if Utah State wants to hold. And they're going to use a timeout. Utah State takes the timeout. The Aggies will get the last shot next. Been a big night for LSU's basketball team. They're up over Utah State 44-28. They have made life really tough for the Aggies to score, but now Steve, they're going to get the last shot.
I think it's important right now with 16.4 seconds left. Shot clock's off. Make it a good shot and do not let LSU have a chance to go to the other end and score. It's a big difference. 31 as opposed to 28.
Porter bounces at the Merrill in the corner. Couldn't get it to go. Anderson's stick back is good. That will count. So they do get the basket at the end. And that cuts the lead to 14 at the break. 44-30 on the stick back. But a tremendous performance by LSU tonight against the nation's 15th ranked team. Let's go to Steve. He's going to be talking with the head coach, Will Wade.
Hey, Coach, outside of that last play, which we saw right here, you've done a pretty good job defensively and offensively. What do you say about the way they came out?
Well, I thought we've made shots, which helps, but our defense has been really good. We've been really handsy. We've been very active. We've been great at the rim. We've gotten into the push. We've trapped them, kind of thrown them out of rhythm a little bit, and so we're going to have to be better in the second half. They're a good team. He's a very good coach. They're going to make some adjustments, and we're going to need to adjust a little bit ourselves.
And not many turnovers in the first half, so good first half. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
LSU had just 5 turnovers in the first half. They jumped down to a 17-point lead, and they lead by 14 at the half here at the Jamaica Classic in Montego Bay. AT&T at the half is coming up next as our coverage from Montego Bay continues on this Friday night in just a moment.